Apparently, Ryan Reynolds got sued for Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's take a look why.
I'm the best there is at what I do. And what I do.
You got it. Go ahead.
I'm the best there is at what I do. But what I do isn't very nice.
Cut, you got it. Yeah. Good. Got it? Brando is kind of an innovator.
Genius.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Ryan Reynolds is in the news again for
Charlie.
Deadpool, and this time it has nothing to do with Deadpool 4 or why Thor was crying or Deadpool and Wolverine showing up in Avengers 5, the typical reasons you would expect Deadpool and Marvel to be in the news. It's because Ryan Reynolds just got added to a $400 million
Holy.
lawsuit because of, get this, jokes that he made during Deadpool and Wolverine.
Bruh. What are you gonna say? Because he's causing damage to the Marvel or whatever Marvel timeline or like Marvel Cinematic Universe. Are you kidding me? Okay, that's so stupid. I mean, I assume that it's gonna be dropped, but let's hear what specific things they have to talk about.
That's right. Someone is trying to sue Ryan Reynolds for being too funny. It's as ridiculous as it sounds. Like we are living in the dumbest timeline. Thanos was right. I am sure Ryan Reynolds feels honored that someone got so offended that they felt like they needed to sue him for $400 million. So we'll break it all down.
I think everyone's gonna laugh at it, huh?
Sounds more ridiculous than the last. I'll also explain what's going to happen as a result of the lawsuit. You don't need to be an actual lawyer or a genius to know how something like this is going to go, because this happens in Hollywood all the time. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. This new lawsuit you may have seen recently, according to THR, Variety, Deadline, The Hollywood Trades, is Justin Baldoni trying to sue Ryan Reynolds and his wife Blake Lively over what he's alleging is a tactical smear campaign to defame him involving Deadpool and Wolverine for $400 million.
Who's that guy?
You don't actually need to read the entire lawsuit to understand how this escalated to a $400 million lawsuit or how Ryan Reynolds, Marvel, and Deadpool and Wolverine got roped into it. But the TLDR is that his wife, Blake Lively, made a movie with Justin Baldoni called This Ends With Us. I'm not going to watch it, and you can't make me watch it. It released right after Deadpool and Wolverine came out in theaters. Ryan Reynolds mentioned it using the Deadpool character in Deadpool and Wolverine promos to try and hype it up to help their movie at the box office too. Like he wanted to help his wife's movie out, of course. And they also tried to use some of Blake Lively's Lady Deadpool to help promote that movie too. Like, yeah, see her.
This is Blake Lively? Is that actually Blake Lively? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know when I watched the movie. That's
cool. Wolverine, then go see her in her other movie. His wife, Blake Lively, played Lady Deadpool from the comics. It was one of the leaders of the Deadpool Corps during the movie. She wasn't actually on set for the filming of Deadpool and Wolverine. She just did the actual voiceover, but the character was modeled after her. Rob Liefeld told a big story about how long ago, like long before Ryan...
Most badass contribution to girl power in comics. Lady Deadpool was introduced 13 years ago in Massacre in 2010 with her unblemished visage based entirely in Blake Lively as Joy, and I were crazy uber gossiping Gossip Girl fans. They're missing an episode. Is really a strong case that Wanda Wilson was a stunning blonde. No scars in Marvel thought that was a cool idea and involved Blake on the GG. They gave it thumbs up. Just forever, but meeting Blake on the set was tongue-tied in the most embarrassing fashion. Years later, the Golden Globes. I again bothered to the point. I think I was speaking in tongues. If I were blessed with Lady Deadpool on screen, I'm pretty certain Miss Lively will have something
Ryan
to say.
Reynolds ever met and got married to her long before Ryan Reynolds ever starred in Wolverine Origins as that original version of Deadpool. He actually came up with the idea that Blake Lively should be a version of Lady Deadpool when she was still doing the Gossip Girl show, because of all things, Rob Liefeld and his wife in real life are huge stans of
Gossip Girl. My friend Azuki does. I gotta ask her how she actually did it.
This was way back in the early 2000s, so he created the Lady Deadpool character modeled after Blake Lively's character in Gossip Girl. Then a couple years later, Ryan Reynolds becomes that original version of Deadpool in Wolverine Origins. He does the Green Lantern movie, meets her on that, they get married, then he goes on to make the good Deadpool movies, and eventually she does star as the live-action version of Lady Deadpool. Fulfilling the prophecy. This is also one of the reasons why Deadpool makes the Gossip Girl joke at the beginning of Deadpool and Wolverine.
There are 206 bones in the human body. 207 if I'm watching Gossip Girl.
While Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were making Deadpool and Wolverine, she was making her movie with Justin Baldoni, and while they were making their movie, allegedly things got really bad between the two of them, and the TLDR is that he was a dick to her and she got super pissed. The reason why it escalated to a $400 million lawsuit is because they got so catty after the fact he hired a PR firm to do a smear campaign against her to make himself look better, got
Okay.
outed for it, then she threatened a lawsuit against him for that, then he filed a countersuit because of that.
Okay.
The reason why Ryan Reynolds and Marvel got roped into it in the first place is because Justin Baldoni is now arguing that both she and Ryan Reynolds ran a specific smear campaign against him using jokes during the
Bruh.
Deadpool and Wolverine
Okay.
movie
Well,
to do it.
it's gonna get dropped because this
Particularly
is
the
stupid.
Nice Pool character. He's claiming that Ryan Reynolds wrote the Nice Pool character to specifically be a parody of him, Justin Baldoni,
Since when?
and because Deadpool
Because
and
of what?
Wolverine made so much money, got seen by the entire world. That is why he's trying to use this
Bruh.
as part of his big lawsuit.
We started off
Really?
with Nice Pool, which was Ryan's alter ego. That's the first thing that we worked on.
Now, when I originally saw the movie, I did all my Easter egg videos, deleted scenes, behind the scenes breakdowns of how they actually made the
I
movie.
actually wonder what
all
they're gonna
very
be,
cool. Nobody
deleted scenes.
attached to the movie, none of the actors, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, anybody, even the lesser actors, characters, the crew members, ever mentioned Justin Baldoni's
Yeah, because they don't. I don't think they even know who he is. No. I mean, maybe they do know the what's it called? The person, but like, how does it
name,
relate?
or even Blake Lively's movie.
I mean, there's so many frivolous lawsuits all over the world, and especially in America, that like, yeah, I'm gonna, sue Disney for $1 million or $20 million because, something offends me or whatever. It's so like, there's so many like stupid ones. I don't know that's the true one, but I'm just giving an example. Just because someone or something makes money, a lot of money, you're just like, okay, I'll try my best, even if my chances to win are like 1%. It's still 1% to win, like, $20 million instead of 0% to win anything. So,
movie that this is all based on.
Yeah.
Most of
That's
us assume, myself included, that he was just meant to be a generic douchebag parody of Ryan Reynolds himself, like he was mostly making fun of himself. And it was just a continuation of the jokes that he had started making on himself in the first Deadpool movie, like calling himself God's perfect idiot. This is why he was hyping up the movie, basically clowning on him, Hugh Jackman, in real life, as well as Marvel and Fox.
Mostly gonna beat each other senseless, make enemies with Disney, tell a few dick jokes, make a few jokes at my expense, make a lot of jokes at Hugh's expense, and completely sidestep Marvel's mandated after-credit sequence, which, if you haven't figured it out yet, is always just a commercial for another movie, which will invariably end with a commercial for another movie.
Seems very clear that he intended the movie to mostly poke fun
Yeah,
at
he was just
himself,
making
Hugh
jokes of
Jackman,
things, no?
Marvel, Fox, those kinds of things. But just last week, a random Twitter user who kind of seems like a huge stan of Justin Baldoni's and really hates Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for some reason, posted this thread calling out all of Ryan Reynolds' Nice Pool references in the movie, and you can decide
Okay.
whether or not you believe this, but the user is trying to argue that each of the specific jokes are targeted smears
It
against
could be
Justin
Justin
Baldoni.
Baldoni
First, he's
himself.
trying to say the man bun look is based on Justin Baldoni's hair in real life. Then there's the joke where Deadpool gets pissed at Nice Pool for commenting on Blake Lively's figure, like Lady Deadpool just having a baby and looking amazing, which allegedly Justin Baldoni did to Blake Lively on the set of their movie while they were making it, and it's one of the reasons
Okay.
why Blake Lively was pissed at him. Deadpool in the movie then calls Nice Pool, telling him you're not supposed to say that, and they're trying to argue that that was meant to be commentary on Justin Baldoni doing that to Blake Lively
That
in
is
real life.
so stupid.
Later in the movie, Deadpool makes a joke at Cassandra Nova about asking for her intimacy coordinator, and that's supposed to be another joke about what happened on the set of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's movie. Then there's a deleted scene where Nice Pool tries to say that he's going to monetize the women's movement using a podcast, like Justin Baldoni's podcast in real life.
I'd be fighting alongside them, but my calling is to one day host a podcast that monetizes the women's movement. Hey, cowboy, my eyes are up here. I know it's tempting. I look at it too sometimes.
In real life, he does actually have a podcast that's based on stuff like that. Later, they use Nice Pool for a joke about opening up about trauma and turning faith and spirituality into healing, which is something that Justin Baldoni has openly discussed in his podcast and interviews.
I mean, criticized for opening about his trauma turning into faith. This is kind of generic in general. People, I don't know. It seems frivolous, but okay.
Then they're trying to argue the hilarious takedown of Nice Pool at the end of the movie, his actual death scene, is meant to be a metaphor for Blake Lively actually killing
yes, and that's
Justin
actually
Baldoni.
gonna be physical violence, right? And then it's gonna be actual threat for him or something. It's so
because
stupid.
if he's meant to be a parody against her, Blake Lively is also playing Lady Deadpool, and she's the one to actually shoot and kill him.
Sure.
In the credits for the movie, Gordon Reynolds, who's like the fake in-universe twin of Ryan Reynolds that he's parodied in previous movies that he's done, is credited as playing the Nice Pool character. But also in the credits for Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's movie, they put Gordon Reynolds in the credits.
Why?
I think that's actually because Ryan Reynolds helped them with a little bit on the script, and there's a bit of a joke on that.
Okay.
But whoever
That's
this
cute.
is that's trying to support Justin Baldoni is trying to add it to all these different parodies and connections, this conspiracy against him in Deadpool and Wolverine. Personally, I think this person who posted all these is directly connected to him or his
Yeah,
lawyers,
yeah.
or his lawyers read this and tried
you've
to
been
use
him
it
or
to
whatever.
add Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly. Just you create something, ask someone to create something, to post something like that, and
Marvel
you
to
got
their
it.
lawsuit.
It's kind of crazy.
Now they're ordering Marvel to turn over all the materials relating to the development of the movie
Bruh.
to try and prove their case. Whether or not you think it's true, it sounds completely ridiculous. But
It
I
is
can already
ridiculous.
tell you how this is going to end. Yes, it won't end well for him, Justin Baldoni, but you don't actually need to be a lawyer to understand how stuff like this is going to go, because it always goes the same way. This isn't even close to being anything like what happened with Jonathan Majors' lawsuit or even with Johnny
Wait, what
Depp's
happened with-
lawsuit. Like, it's not
who's
even
Jonathan
close to
Ma-
that kind of stuff.
Who's that guy?
Those are two examples of situations where
Who's this guy? I guess it's gonna be maybe another video to take a look at, but I have no idea who this actor
they
is.
did
Unfortunately,
actually go to trial. Most likely,
so I
what's
haven't
gonna
seen
happen
any
is-
like movies or whatever where he is. Of course, I know
those
Johnny
are two
Depp, but I
examples of situations where they
something
did
related
actually
to
go to trial.
pharaohs.
Most likely what's going to happen in this case with Ryan Reynolds, and the reason why you haven't heard him say anything about it, is because everybody is just going to settle the case before
That's true, and but also at the same time, you can't really talk about the ongoing lawsuit. You cannot make comments. You cannot anything because if you do, then there's gonna be more problems. So that's why anyone literally that is involved in the lawsuit cannot say anything. They're just like, "Yep, sorry, I'm bound to not comment on this at this time." That's
it actually goes to
literally
trial,
what it
and
says.
they'll just never speak of it again or speak to each other again. The main reason why Ryan Reynolds and Marvel are in the clear on this and why they're not really worried about getting sued is even if Nice Pool is an actual big joke clowning on Justin Baldoni, like even if all those claims are true,
Guilty on all charges.
How are you gonna prove that it's a
both Ryan
frivolous?
Reynolds and Marvel are protected under First Amendment laws in the United States, which permit parodies of things and people. So they can make all the jokes on Justin Baldoni
That
that
is
they
true.
want, and they don't have to worry about getting sued. Nobody should be able to sue Ryan Reynolds for any
They're
of the
not
jokes.
asking for like there's exceptions to First Amendment. They're not advocating for violence or anything else. They're not making that. If it's just a commentary, parody, anything else, you can say anything you want basically.
Jokes he makes
So,
during Deadpool
yeah.
and Wolverine is the reason just in general that comedians are able to exist in the world. Also why Ryan Reynolds doesn't get sued by DC and Warner Brothers all the time for all the DC movie jokes that he makes now.
Who did this?
The DC lawyers, I knew it.
That's one f***ing ugly sweater.
Yeah, it's probably the same guy that got Cavill and that other Batman.
That's right.
Next
That's cute.
actual
I've not
place we're
seen
going to
that.
see the Deadpool and Wolverine characters is supposed to be Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. Supposedly Marvel's
Nice.
going to try and put them in as many things as
That'd be cool.
possible now. Till they're 90.
I mean, they're really popular
They
though,
could
right?
also cameo in some other movies too the next couple of years. Ryan Reynolds specifically said he currently has no plans to actually make Deadpool 4, but that he will continue to be Deadpool for the foreseeable future till he's 90 in other
makes
Marvel
sense.
movies, do
That
big
makes sense.
crossovers till the end of time, basically, the heat death of the universe. And if he does make Deadpool 4, like I think they'll eventually make another Deadpool movie, it probably won't be for at least like another 6 years, maybe longer. But there will be a lot
Yeah, it feels
more
like there's
Deadpool
not too much because like Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2 are kind of somewhat similar. It's the same trope, Deadpool being cool guy, doing cool shit, making jokes. Deadpool and Wolverine definitely helped the case because it's something different. A lot of people were waiting for that. But if you make like Deadpool 4 and it will be same tropes, same things. You basically have to improve, right? Every movie allegedly, supposedly you improve and you want to make something better, something more exciting, something that has more things, so people actually show up. Because if it's all the same old thing, then no one will do anything, right? No one will pay for it. So maybe in like 10 years they'll do it or something, or just appear in you can appear in Avengers, like they said, and just go from there.
in the future of
right?
Marvel just in general. There's a bunch of other big stuff coming up. We have the Super Bowl in a couple weeks. There'll be a ton of trailers, including a lot of Marvel trailers. We're supposed to get
Oh,
another
nice.
big Fantastic Four trailer. We had a bunch of
Wait, there's a
Spider-Man
new Fantastic
episodes
Four,
starting
or what?
soon. I'll be doing videos for week to week. And we just got that new Daredevil Born Again trailer. Everybody click here for that, and click here for all those Deadpool and Wolverine deleted scenes and alternate endings. Thank you so much for watching in maximum effort.
Thank you, thank you. This was by Emergency Awesome. I'll leave the link of his video in the description. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think this lawsuit ever stands a single chance? Honestly speaking, I don't think it does, but we'll be curious to see what you guys say. Alrighty, that should be it. See you guys. Bye.